Who remembers the BJ and Bill show all those years ago on WOLZ? Well, many have said they missed the show, and guess what? They're back. Welcome to the BJ and Bill podcast.
Welcome to BJ and Bill, the podcast, a part of the Podcast Playground Network. We'd like for you to give us a 5-star review. Much appreciated. You can do that wherever you subscribe, whether it be Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. As we welcome you to episode number 77, Sunset Strip.
Ooh. I remember, of course, like most people, I'm going to say like most people, I remember the music, but I don't remember the show. I have no idea. Was it a detective show? I have no idea.
I'm kind of like you. I think it was a detective show.
Right.
But I'm not for sure.
I have no idea. No idea. Okay, cool. Well, that's cool. 77. Cool. Awesome. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I keep thinking, here we live in Florida. And I keep thinking every week, okay, springtime, summertime is here. No more of this winter weather crap.
Yeah.
And boom, it returns. It's going to be kind of cool. Now, we record this on a Monday.
Right.
And so the people in Daytona Beach, Florida will probably be a little cold today as they're watching the Infinity Race, which will probably start as we're doing this podcast. And the big race, the big 500. The big boys, they call it the Cup Series. That will be, I think, at 4:00 today. So we'll be done with the podcast, and I'll be in front of my television.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, because today, well, as we record this, it is Monday, President's Day. So a lot of folks have the day off. So good for you. Enjoy it. Have fun. But yes, as far as the weather thing, well, it's February, right? I mean, you can't. I mean, it's funny because I was watching I forget something, but it was showing how much snow there is or how cold it is up north or whatever. Oh, I know. They played the outdoor hockey game that's getting to be a thing now. They do a couple of them every year. So this one was, I think, Friday night or Saturday night at MetLife Stadium at the New York Giants, New York Jets football stadium in New Jersey, northern New Jersey. And they're like, oh, it's 28 degrees. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It's still cold up north. I forgot. So,
I think my problem is, and maybe, a little bit of your problem could be too, that we originated the BJ and Bill show from Fort Myers, where I lived for over 40 years.
Me too.
I'm now in Central Florida.
Yes.
I don't care what they say. And my daddy used to say, once you go north of the Caloosahatchee, look out. And my daddy was so correct. I'm up here and I'm going, man, alive, look at the temperature in Fort Myers, 5-10 degrees different.
Right. I believe it. I do. I might have modified that to be north of the Peace River in Charlotte County, but it's close enough. It's within 20 miles. So yeah, absolutely. Because I'm way up here. I'm farther north than you, and it's like, holy cow. It's like, Alexa, what's the weather? 51 degrees as we record this. So yeah, 51 as we record this. So.
I think when I woke up about, half hour ago,
yeah,
we were 1 degree warmer than you. I think it was 52 when I actually jumped up out of bed. Well, I took a shower too, so it might have been an hour ago.
There you go.
It's not
Alexa, what's the weather in Fort Myers, Florida right now? 59. Alexa, stop.
59.
So, yeah, it's 8 degrees warmer in Fort Myers than it is right here. So there you go. Your dad was spot on. No problem.
But, I've noticed, though, even Fort Myers the last couple of years, I don't know what it is. Everybody says global warming and everything else. I don't know what it is for sure, but the weather sure is screwy lately.
Yes. Yeah, my father, we're doing father things. My father always used to say that he'd be freezing his butt off shoveling snow in Cleveland in the winter and going, where's this global warming? Damn it, I could use some right about now. I'm like, yeah, well, I get it.
So I don't know, but the weather has just been, maybe, I don't know. As I said, you lived, I don't know how long you lived in Fort Myers. I was there for 40 years. It does seem like the hurricanes are stronger. Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's just more populated areas around the, the waterways, but everything just seems to be, I don't know, weather didn't seem to be this terrible, or we were younger and we didn't really give a rat's ass.
I think that was a big part of it. That was a big part of it. So yeah, there you go.
Because now,
So,
let me get my little cover on here, and when I'm watching TV, because it's so cold, it's like 49 degrees out there this evening.
I know. I had the heater on in the apartment last night. It was terrible. All right, and we're done whining now. We're done whining.
I don't think so.
Coming up later on this morning on the show, a special guest. We're not going to say who, but it's somebody BJ and I had on the show with us multiple times. A very good friend of the show, and has been a very good friend of the two of us for 20 years. So we'll see how that goes.
That'll be exciting.
It will be exciting. We'll do that. So what did you do for your first Sunday without football?
Well, I was a little upset. Because I really wasn't, going, oh, there's no football. I wasn't one of those people that was whining because there was no football. I was going, all right, we got races Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. Oh, I am so stoked. Did Thursday night racing, got to watch it. Did Friday night truck racing, got to watch it. Infinity racing yesterday, rained out. The Cup Series, the Daytona 500 Sunday, my Super Bowl, rained out. I'm not a very happy camper this morning.
Did you watch? You're a basketball fan. Did you watch any of the All-Star festivities, including the game last night?
I watched a little bit of the game last night, but let's just go out there and shoot the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put my hand up. Okay, I'm guarding you. Oh, can you? Oh, I got you. Swish. Oh, man, I guess I didn't have him. Oh, back on the other end. I got you. Oh, I guess I didn't have my hand up high enough. I didn't jump high enough. There was a couple blocks that I did see.
A couple.
But
there were a couple of good moves. The East, for those who didn't watch, the East scored 100 points in the first half. I was like, are you kidding me? 104, I think it was. It was a record, whatever.
When I watched, I think I watched a total of maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of it either. So.
And I said, well, this is not really a basketball game. It's like, let's have fun and show off. And
yes, exactly.
And I like basketball. I don't like whatever they called that last night.
Right.
I guess.
Right. Maybe they could do like the NFL and turn it into like flag basketball.
Yeah. Now, if you were there, and you love the stars of the game, which I do.
Sure.
I think I'd be going,
sure.
Because there's the stars all, right there in one big huddle,
Absolutely.
But as far as a game, pretty boring.
Yeah.
It's a snooze fest.
Yeah, it is. It is. I watched a few minutes of that. I watched a few minutes of the 3-point. I watched a few minutes of the slam dunk. I did enjoy the slam because the kid repeated. He's in the G League, for God's sakes. He's not even in the NBA. He's in the G League, and he repeated this year by, if you didn't see it, jumping over our man Shaq. Literally over his head. Unbelievable.
Now, I didn't see it. I watched a little bit of it, but I didn't see that move. And then they talked about it later. I guess it might have been him too that did a dunk.
Yes.
And he had a cupcake.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, there's one that was holding a cupcake, jumped over, probably. I don't know who he jumped over.
Right.
They said, okay, so the guy took a cupcake, but they go, no. The judges really didn't see the magic. He jumped over, and while he was in the air, blew out the cupcake because it had a candle, blew out the cupcake, and then did the slam dunk. They said that was the dunk of the night. If you would have noticed that he blew out the candle, that was the dunk of the night.
I will look for that on YouTube today. I did not see that one. That must have been in the early rounds. I didn't see that one, so I will look for that on YouTube. That's pretty impressive. That is.
I don't want to be, we have a young lady coming on the show a little bit later on, so I don't want to be some kind of chauvinist here. But I was really happy that Steph did get beat by a girl last night in that 3-point contest that they
That would have
did.
been awesome. That would have been awesome if she had, but yeah, she didn't. So it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would have been awesome, but it would have been my man Steph, and I would have been sad for him.
He would have never heard the end of it either. So yeah,
Between him and Damon Green, or
Draymond Green, yeah,
I don't, I think the Warriors would definitely be toast for the rest.
they would. Yeah, nobody's. Yeah, every team that Steph plays against, every guy that guards Steph is going, you got beat by a girl. You got beat by. Yeah, you're right. We don't want to get in trouble there with whatever. But it would have been interesting and cool. It was still a great show. That was a good part of the show. It was enjoyable. So anyway, there you go.
What I still think was the best part of basketball last week was Caitlin Clark getting her, her all-time NCAA scoring for women's basketball.
Right.
She beat the record by getting 8 point. Well, actually, I think it was 9 or 10 that she made. I think because she made a 3-pointer almost halfway.
Right.
I mean, just almost mid-court.
Yeah.
And then she, went on to score 49 points that game. So that was
do a 2-on-2 for the next year's All-Stars with the two ladies, with Caitlin Clark and the other lady from New York. I forget her name, but who did the 3-point this year against two of the stars from, two NBA stars for next year. Do a 2-on-2. So that would be fun.
Caitlin is still undetermined if because she is eligible to play one more year of basketball.
Right.
So will she play one more year and get one more year of college, becoming a doctor or something? Or will she go on to the WNBA?
Good question. I don't. I can't make those judgments for those young people. There's a lot of money to be made there by going out and seeking your fortune in professional sports. Yeah, I don't know. All right. So what else? What else are you up to?
Not much, really. Just kind of hanging out, getting ready for you someday soon to be coming to my area. And
I was going to ask about that. I was thinking either. I mean, you've got stuff going on Tuesday. I've got stuff going on Wednesday, or vice versa. So I was thinking Thursday. Maybe I would drive down there if that's up to you. Or
and I believe the weather might be halfway decent.
Right. Check on your calendar, and we will meet up. For those who don't remember, we had a little Super Bowl bet. I lost. Told BJ I'd buy lunch in a neutral territory, but he was kind enough to say he'd buy his own lunch, but I have to drive down to see him. So that's a fair trade.
Fair trade. Because I'm a lazy butt.
And that's okay. I'm all right. And I enjoy the drive. So it's turn on the old XM radio and motor on down there. So we'll do that. That sounds wonderful. And then we'll have some great pictures to post for the BJ and Bill podcast page. People will actually see that the two old men still do exist in real life, and it'll be great.
Yeah, like Miss Vicki was telling you last week. Well, you guys have put on some. What did she say? Put on pound or lost weight?
Oh, I'm sure we've all put on, but
because of because we were using a picture that was drawn back in the day of BJ and Bill. I think we're both probably a little lighter now than we probably were back then.
I absolutely am lighter now than I am, because I still have the picture. I'm pointing to it like people can see it on the podcast. They can't. I still have the picture, the original drawing done for us by the Fort Myers News Press editorial cartoonist Doug
McGregor.
McGregor. Why do I keep forgetting his name? That's a big name in Fort Myers.
Because you're like me. You're in the 60s. You're in your 60s now. You're like me. You forget everything.
Oh, is that it? I forget everything. Damn it! I knew it was something like that. So anyway, I still have it, and that somehow became the logo of the podcast, even though it was drawn literally
probably 25 years ago.
Probably.
I'd say 25, probably
25. And yes, both BJ and Bill are considerably chunkier in that picture. I don't know why. I guess working in radio made you fat. I don't know.
I think some of it too, though, when you do the characters.
Yes.
Because it's a character,
Caricature,
drawing.
Yes.
You got a bigger head and a littler body. So you look bigger because they've got big old heads on them.
That's it. That's our story. We're sticking to it, doggone it. Of course, both of us also, now that I look at it, both of us also have glasses in the drawing, and neither one of us are wearing glasses at the moment. So
yeah, I can't see it all, so I don't need to wear glasses anymore. That's for sure.
And I spent the big money on the on the laser whatchamacallit surgery. And yeah, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, I had the
It's awesome.
cataract surgery.
Laser cataract, that's what
And,
I had. Yes.
and then they
Laser
put like
cataract.
new lenses in. But the only problem is I had a retina detached, like on
Oh.
this side of my eye, like probably 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And it just seems
Oh,
like it
boy.
just continues to get worse. And eye doctor said, probably not
Yeah.
much we can do about it. It's probably always going to be bad. And I go, well, it's getting to the point where I can't even hardly see out of that eye anymore.
I've heard that. I have heard that from other folks who have had that detached thing going on. So whatever. I don't know. Everybody's getting old, except apparently for our president, who is too old that he can't even remember well, never mind. I don't want to do politics. It's just getting crazy out there. Can we please have a young person step up and maybe do something for this country rather than 90-year-olds who are all gonna see? I saw a great cartoon on X the other day on Twitter, and it was a picture of all of these leaders, quote unquote leaders, that we have in the United States House and Senate. And it's basically saying the reason why they don't give a damn how much money they spend, they're all going to be dead soon and they won't have to pay the bills. They're sticking the rest of us with all of these unpaid bills when they go. And I'm like, yeah, kind of makes sense.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not too far away from 70 now.
Yes.
And I wouldn't trust myself to be like the president or a congressman or a senator. I wouldn't have trusted myself back in my 20s either, but I mean,
I sure as hell wouldn't have trusted you at any point along the way, but that's a whole other story.
But now though, I think I would at least been sitting there, like doodling or something while people were talking, in all those long meetings.
Right.
I would, but now I'd.
Yeah, you'd be. Yeah.
But
yeah.
the camera on me. Oh gosh, wake me up! Come on, wake me up. Where's my staff that's supposed to be sitting next to me, pinching me or something when I start to doze off?
So you're not drooling on yourself while you're sleeping through meetings. I know, right?
Now this is just a rumor, and I know we don't do politics. But I did hear over the weekend that Manchin and what's his name? Shoot, he's a Republican actually.
Right.
Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney
are actual thinking of teaming up
to run president, vice president.
Yep.
On what ticket?
I guess whatever ticket they want to be called.
Right, because one's Republican, one's a Democrat.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting.
I know.
I still think I would rather have Kennedy, but that's just me. For starters, he's younger than, I don't know about Joe Manchin, but yeah, he's the senator from like West Virginia or something like that.
I don't know where he's from.
I think so. But I'd still rather, Kennedy is at least younger and appears to have most of his mental faculties still in place as opposed to all these other types. So yeah,
let's really go out. Let's have like an 18-year-old president. See what happens.
Well, you
they're old enough to go to war. They're old enough to, they're old enough to vote. Make 18. I want an 18-year-old president.
Sorry, I think you got to be 35.
Change the rule.
Change the rules. Yeah. What are you, Stephen A. Smith? Change the rule.
Speaking of him, I never did get the whole story on him.
Well, I looked it up anyway for those. All right, that's a radical shift of gears there, but
yeah, Stephen A. Smith.
With politics, we don't care about politics. We care about our buddy Stephen A. Smith of ESPN. I saw you had mentioned it to me when we were texting back and forth over the weekend, and you said what happened to Stephen A. Smith, and I'm like, I'm literally watching him coaching the celebrity game at the NBA weekend, at the All-Star weekend. And then I looked it up and it's like somebody tripped over him or stepped on him or something like that.
And of course it was a Dallas Cowboy.
Right. It was a Dallas Cowboy who tripped over him. Yeah. Uh-huh. That's right.
I still think they're turning Stephen A. Smith into, because he always did say he'd like to be a manager and go into the world of wrestling. I think this is his stepping into wrestling and trying to, do entertainment sports. That's what he's trying to do here.
I hadn't heard that as a wrestling manager. Really?
Oh, he's had wrestlers and managers on his show before, and he's made the mention. He goes, I would love to, be able to be a manager,
Wow. I hadn't heard that, but his his personality is perfect for the job.
Oh,
You got to admit, his personality is just so over the top that he would be perfect for that.
And what's
Kinda
up with
seems like an odd move, though.
The Rock? He's turned into a heel.
Tell me more. I don't know. What do you mean?
I was watching the whatever it was, whatever it's called these days. I haven't really, I haven't paid attention to wrestling in quite some time, but I'll turn it on every now and again. And they have The Rock, and he's a heel.
Which means, for those who aren't into wrestling, what does heel mean, BJ?
He's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
He's the guy you would want to boo and you want to hate, and you're like, oh no, he's a little slime bucket.
So The Rock has become the heel. And I mean, is he really doing more new wrestling shows? Because I thought now that he's a movie star, he's probably too big for that.
Maybe he just wanted to be a heel for a while to have, because I have been in the world of wrestling.
Yes.
Not very much, like, semi-pro, whatever it is. And
Right.
I've gotten to play the manager and the heel, and it's a fun gig until after the show, and somebody who is like really believing it's all real, they want to take you out in the parking lot, and you're going, oh my God. And then thank God some big wrestler comes up behind you and goes, leave him alone.
Right. So anyway, you were actually watching, and see, I wouldn't even turn it on, but if The Rock was on, I might turn it on. I got to admit.
And how can he be a heel? Because he's the Grand Marshal. He's like, he's going to be at the Daytona 500. Well, as you've listened to this, it's over, but he's going to be there. Hopefully they'll race today. I think the rain is gone from Daytona Beach. Wow.
That's interesting. I mean, that's quite the career move for him. Why would he decide to go back to wrestling? It can't be that he needs the money. Let's be honest.
I think he's going to be on a pay-per-view wrestling, WrestleMania or something. So it'll be a good pay. It'll be a ka-ching to his,
of course,
to his portfolio.
Of course it will. Of course it will. Get paid. Rock, take my advice. Get paid in Bitcoin. Come on, buddy. Step up.
And he's also part owner of the new whatever the spring football is. They've combined the two leagues, and he's got some change in that too. Maybe that's why he's working again. He's spending money, on his football league, so he needs to make some extra cash.
That's right. The USF, they combined the USFL and the XFL or something. I think it's all USFL now to put it together. Yeah. So yes. And you have a team down there in Orlando. Might have to come and watch one of those games this spring here. That'd be fun. That'd be interesting. Yeah. So that's a cool idea. So spring football. I never really caught on though. I mean, it's an interesting idea because people love football, but I guess you got to have some big names or something like that, because you can't just cheer for a uniform. You can't just cheer for a city where it's like, okay, Orlando, yay, who plays for them? I don't know. But we love them. Okay. Yeah.
So that's no worse than, we get into us Fort Myers people, Estero, we got into the Florida Everblades, which really, there's no stars in that, but we enjoyed.
Right.
I definitely enjoyed the games.
Sure.
Still do when I'm down in Fort Myers. I'll every once in a while, and I'll even go here to Orlando here. The Solar Bears are here.
Right.
In Orlando.
Right.
And I've seen them play the Everblades in Orlando. And I'm like going,
who are you cheering for?
I want to cheer for the Everblades, but this guy looks really big sitting next to me, and he's got a jersey of
Solar Bears.
And so I'm just going to sit here and shut up.
And then up in Jacksonville, I've got the Icemen as well. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah.
I know we got our guests coming in, but quickly too, yesterday, pouring down rain. We were out and we needed some groceries. So we stopped real quick at Publix, and our Publix here has a little, end thing where you can get under the cover and load your groceries.
Oh, yes.
So my wife had a raincoat on, so she goes, I'll go to the car. So I said, okay. So I'm over there, and this girl jumps out of a car, and she doesn't go to the end of the lane. She stops right underneath, where you don't get wet.
Right.
Jumps out, runs in the store. I'm going, my wife's going to be here any minute. How long is she going to be? She comes back. She must have forgot her bellfold or something, or her wallet. in the car. So she grabbed it. And I go, do you think they could pull forward so my wife could pull in so we can load? She's leaving now. You don't need to effing worry about it. And I'm going, I wasn't even being mean. I wasn't being,
Right.
I asked tonight, I go, do you think, your friend could pull up so someone else can get in? And she
Right.
went off on me, but I shut down because I didn't want to get beat up because
Right.
she was a really rough looking girl. And I think she could have taken my ass.
I hear you. There's the world has gotten meaner.
Oh,
And I don't know why. You would think that we would be better, be nice to each other. Just be kind. Just be nice to each other. The world is going to hell in a handbasket.
and it wasn't like I was, I was like, you think
No, I get it.
could pull up? That's all I said.
I totally get it.
You think, oh, she's leaving now. You need to effing worry about it. And I'm going, holy shit. And she
Right.
said it was, a million pounds of attitude. And there was another little old lady that was waiting too. And she just looked at her and looked at me and like, oh my God.
Right.
What is that? What's happening in the world these days?
Right. The answer is the world's going to hell in a handbasket fast.
Yep.
And until we figure out that we need to be nice to each other, maybe just a little, maybe just think of somebody else, maybe just a tiny, teeny bit. But I don't know. I don't know if it's social media or the fact that we are so divided or whatever. And I've seen it multiple times, and I will finish with this before our break, and you can add what you'd like. And that is that the powers that be, for all you conspiracy, it's not even a conspiracy theory. The powers that be in this world that have all the money and have all the stuff have engineered it so that we are doing exactly what we are doing, which is fighting amongst each other over the dumbest shit. Sorry to have to say it.
Oh,
we are
God.
fighting amongst each other over the dumbest stuff to keep us distracted from the real problems.
Well, I don't know how many times I've been in a parking lot.
Yep.
And heard people like screaming and yelling at each other. I'm just sitting there going, am I going to hear gunfire any minute?
Right. And I mean, it's not just parking lot stuff. It's Democrat versus Republican, black versus white, man versus woman, straight, gay, you name it. All the different ways that we are divided against each other. None of it matters to the powers that be. The only thing that matters to them is that they stay in power and keep the money coming to themselves. That's all that matters. And it's working. It's working great because all of us out here are not getting any wealthier. We are getting poorer, if that's a word. We are getting more and more poor as our money, inflation, all that goes crazy. And, we send another $1 trillion overseas to fight somebody else's war when we can't even control our own country. So, all right, I'm done ranting. Apparently I'm in a rant mode today. So there you go.
Goodness. Take a chill pill. I'm glad I didn't run into you in the parking lot.
There is somebody on X, again, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, who posts these random videos of people of karma coming back. So like, somebody gets in somebody's face in the parking lot and some old man just takes one swing at some 21-year-old with a mask, and just flattens him. And I love those videos. I'm like, okay, I'm part of the problem. I recognize this. I love those videos.
Please pray for him, people. Please
What's
pray.
that?
Please pray for Bill.
Please pray for Bill. Please pray for Bill. No, I'm fine. Let me have a little slip of coffee. I'm fine. It's great.
I gotta take a sip of my what am I drinking here?
I don't know, but it's in a world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl winning mug there, which is nice.
Pina colada, that's what it is.
That'll help mellow you out.
No, seriously. I've talked about this before. My hydration drink.
Yes.
Liquid IV.
Yes.
They have a new flavor. Pina colada.
Really?
Oh, this thing is good. Let me tell you.
Does it have? I've been reading.
I don't know if it's got liquor on it or not, but it tastes like it tastes like a pina colada.
Oh, that's awesome. Is this electrolytes and stuff like that? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
I keep reading how important all of that is, and I have a little sample pack of some mixable stuff, so I'm going to start using that. I think.
You know what? I'm really curious because I know we got to take a break here, but I'm really curious because I have been taking this, and I haven't had any blood work done since I've been taking this.
Right.
So I'm having blood work done tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm just, I'm curious. Obviously after midnight, I'm not supposed to eat or really, drink. Maybe a little,
Right.
water here and there. But I'm really curious how everything is going to come out because they like me. I'm like one of the little test rabbits. They
Yes, you
test
are.
me. They test me for everything. So I'll be kind of curious to see how the blood work comes back.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll be curious to hear that too. So there you go. All right. Well, whatever you're drinking, ladies and gentlemen, go have a refill on that. And we will come back with our special guest coming up in just a moment. So stay right where you are. Welcome back. I'm Bill Stevens. That's BJ Odom over there. And you are listening to BJ and Bill, the podcast. If you'd like to, we would love to hear a 5-star review. We'd like to see a 5-star review and hear from you on our social media outlets. Wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, all of that stuff, feel free to jump on over there, leave a 5-star review for the boys. And then if you'd like to contribute or say hi or post some memory, Facebook page, BJ and Bill podcast. Just do a search for BJ and Bill. And as I always say, you have to put in the and, BJ and Bill podcast on Facebook as well. And joining us, if I had a drum roll, we need a drum roll sound effect, don't we, BJ? I mean, yeah, he's trying to do a drum roll, but I don't hear a damn thing. So all the way, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Blue Ridge, Georgia, the practical intuitive, Ms. Vicki Wagoner. Hello, dear.
Hello. Good morning, you guys. Good to see.
Good to be seen. Good to be seen.
Yeah.
For those who don't remember, way back, Vicki Wagoner was on our show many times with various, what should we call that, life coaching advice kind of things about getting your stuff together over the years or whatever. What do you remember about it, BJ?
I remember, actually, I remember she was doing Reiki at the time.
Yeah.
You still do Reiki?
I do a little bit. Yeah. I kind of slowed down. Mostly what I'm doing right now are oracle card readings.
Tell us about that. What does that
Yeah,
mean?
I was going to say, explain to the guy who's not the smartest on the show.
Oh, you're smart. No, oracle card readings is about helping you see things from a different perspective or a confirmation of something that you're doing or, working on becoming your own best friend. So the cards simply are a way of, it's right there in your face. You can't, avoid it. You've got to look at it. You've got to embrace it and then put it into action to change your perspective on whatever's going on in your life. Or again, confirmation of you're on the right track.
We needed her like 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
We needed her like 2 years ago. What are you talking about?
Bill had a little episode about
Oops.
10 minutes ago where I was telling him about an episode I had at Publix the other day. Someone started cursing me out for no real reason at all. And then he went into a rant how everybody hates everybody. I don't know. It was a rant that we could have used you then.
Sounds like it. Yes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think I was merely expressing the current state of the world, but that's okay. That's okay. So, Ms. Vicki, do you are still, you see clients live and in person, and you do clients over Zoom calls and stuff like that? So we'll put in your little, contact information stuff, but we do want to say that this is something that you actually help people with on an everyday basis, and you're available to do that sort of thing.
Yes, I am available and I love it. I've been doing it for almost 20 years and it's just my joy, my passion.
Awesome.
I really think you need to get back to Reiki because I will tell you, before, I had my transplant, you Reiki'd me, and I believe you may have kept me alive because I remember these are exact words that the doctor said when they took the heart out. There's no way you should have still been alive with that heart.
Wow.
So I'm just saying,
Well, thank you.
you
It's very
know,
cool.
I think you may have had a hand in it, as they say.
Well, I hope so, and I believe you, and I'm so glad that you're still here. You are the miracle man, I'm telling you. You really
Yeah,
are.
I keep saying one of these days it's got to get me, but hey, I'm going to keep going as long as they'll let me.
As
Keep
long as
that
there's still a little bit of gas in the tank, you're okay.
and keep that positive attitude, because what it is what you think, what you believe, what you focus on goes out to the universe, and then it comes back. It's the law of attraction. So whatever you put out is going to come back. So BJ, you also had a lot to do with that too. So all I did was simply enhance that for you, which I'm very grateful that I did, because I love that you're still here, and love both of you guys, and it's just a blessing.
Now,
There you go.
what's really funny too, the way you say the positive attitude, because that has been me all the way through since I
Oh,
was a kid, trying to make jokes. And, sometimes, doctors are a little bit above and they don't always get the humor, but
right.
I try to, and I've even had this, now this is true. I've had nurses fight over me like, oh man, I'm getting you tomorrow. I don't care what. If I have to fight somebody, I'm going to make sure because I do. I go in with a good attitude, and I've seen people like be mean to nurses and be, mean to medical. And I don't get that at all, because they're there trying to help you. And
Right.
even when I see someone on Facebook going through, a medical issue that they're worried about or having problems with, I'll even, type a little note. The main thing, keep laughing, keep a
Yeah.
positive attitude, and that will help you more than anything you can ever realize.
It's really good medicine to focus on what you want to achieve, where you want to be. So that's why you're still here, because of your humor, because of your positive attitude.
All right. See, Bill, now you need to be a little more positive. See,
I'm positive the world is going to hell. How about that? I'm positive. It's okay. I still laugh about it. I still enjoy it, but I probably read too much on Twitter. That's
that'll
probably my
teach you.
problem. Yeah, that's never healthy. Never healthy. I'm sorry, Elon. It's just not.
You,
So
you need to be like me. You need to watch more cartoons. Maybe that would help.
I love cartoons,
I
and I
love
love,
cartoons.
yeah, anything funny. And I love the old shows, the old funny shows. They're great. And
You know,
that's, yeah.
well, I was just going to say, because, my favorite show, like when I get home from school when I was a kid, was the Three Stooges.
Oh
And
my God.
I wouldn't doubt there would be, canceled out these days because, doing all the antics they did. But
Yeah,
I never shot anybody. I never tried to kill myself. And I watched the Three Stooges every day after school.
I know they were great. Yep.
All
And
right, we are really, really dating ourselves now, but that's okay. It's all good.
So
It's
I
all
go,
good.
Three Stooges? And is that somebody in Washington that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, see, there you go. Don't get me started again. Stop.
don't get Bill going. He won't
No.
stop.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm feeling feisty this morning. I just kind of am. I don't know. Maybe I haven't had enough coffee yet, or too much coffee.
Maybe she needs to get her cards out right now and work on
right
it.
now. Doggone it, and see what all goes on. So yeah, no, trust me, I have been through. Do you want? Wait a minute. All right. Do you want to do it, Vicki? Do you want to do the origin story? Because I know, like all superheroes, like Iron Man in the cave, like Superman from his home planet, that Vicki and BJ and Bill have an origin story. And
ew.
I do BJ, I can see on BJ's face that he doesn't remember it.
No,
But
I
I
don't.
also know that whenever Vicki meets somebody and I am in her presence, that she is going to tell this story, and it is her favorite. Yeah, I wish you could see her face now, folks. She's like laughing hysterically here. All right, Miss Vicki, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. You go ahead and do the origin story of how you met BJ and Bill.
Well, I love BJ and Bill from many years ago when I lived in Naples, Florida. And when I got the opportunity, which was fantastic, to be on the show, I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to embarrass myself. But I said, oh, I could finally get to meet the two guys that I wake up to every morning.
Perfect.
I remember some of those mornings.
Yeah. But I wake up with, I think
Right.
it was Wit.
Right.
And the look on your
Just to throw
face.
something in there, many moons ago, before BJ and Bill were a thing, I was on a show on 96. Remember BJ on 96 Super Q, and we actually had some super sexy voice lady do something that it's like, it doesn't matter who I go to bed with as long as I wake up with Steve and Bill on 96 Super Q. So yeah,
Oh.
I get it. So anyway, all right. So anyway, as I recall, I'm going to set her up for this like a good comic,
Okay.
like the good comedians we are. I remember BJ came in one morning and said he was at one of those little arts and crafts fairs in Estero or Bonita Springs or something like that. And BJ tells me, "Oh, I met these two ladies and a friend of Vicky's. Vicky and a friend of hers. I don't even remember who. It's not important. And they do this like crazy, like spiritual hypno, blah, 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 all these things. And I invited them on the show. And so so that's it. So now, Ms. Vicky, you can continue the story there.
Oh no, it was wonderful to meet you guys. And I just love you both. I loved you over the radio, and especially when I got to meet you in person. We had so much fun. And of course, Bill and I are good buds. I don't know if that's a good bad thing for you, Bill, but
I don't know.
Yeah, because he comes up and watches your dog there in
yeah.
Blue
Yes,
Ridge.
I am certified dog sitter. Yeah.
Yep. He's Max's buddy. Yeah.
Now, I need to ask you, have you ever been to, I don't want to brag or anything. Have you ever been to my brewery up there near you?
Which brewery?
Odom's Brewery, Odom's Winery.
Yes, I've been to Odom's Winery. It's very nice. You guys have to come up here and visit.
We actually was up there this summer, and we went to Odom Winery. Now, my wife is good friends with someone in Calhoun.
Okay.
So we drove across because we'd never been to Blairsville or, Odom's Winery. So we wanted to go. We wanted to get some wine. We wanted to get some of the Odom glasses, and as we were doing it, I said, "Hey, is there any kind of family discount?" She goes, "Oh, I'll bet you're in Odom." I go, "Yeah." And then she asked me where we're from and stuff like that. But there was no Odoms there that day, but she did give the wife and my friend some free wine tasting and didn't charge them because they said that was a family discount. But of course, we bought a bunch of bottles and we bought a bunch of glasses. So I don't know if it was too much of an, family discount or not.
Well, it was the experience, and you got up here. How did you like the area?
Liked it. I liked it a lot. Now, my brother and sister-in-law are up there. Susan's brother and her sister-in-law, which I guess my brother and sister-in-law, they're up near the Blue Ridge area also. So they're up there in some campground. Like idiots, they rented their house out for the winter, and they went up there for the winter, and they've had their pipes, like couldn't run the water for a couple of days because everything was all froze.
That happens up here. That's been a strange winter this year. I don't know why. We had like a dusting of snow and that was it, but it's been cold. So, oh boy.
Yeah, her brother said, "I don't think we'll come back up here for the winter. For the summer, yes. For the winter, no."
Yeah, the spring and the summer. Fall is beautiful too. So come up let us know the next time you come up.
All right, will do. I was gonna reach out, but it was kind of like we were going to Indiana and she wanted to stop and see her friends. And then we said, let's go to Odom Winery because we were going to go up and hit it first. But I don't know, her friend said, why don't you just come up here and then we'll all go together. So we ended up going there and then we went over and then then we went to Indiana, which was just all sorts of fun.
That's wonderful.
Indiana is all sorts of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it's nice. Hey,
the only thing I like about Indiana is my old friends and my kinfolk. Besides that, I'm not a big Indiana fan.
Okay.
There's a reason why I left.
Yeah, I guess. And the reason why you've been in Florida for so long. Oh my gosh. So what else have you guys been up to? What trouble are you making?
This is it. This is we were just before you came on, we were just talking. This is actually, as we record this is episode 77 of the podcast. I know, right? And so we have been at this for a year and a half almost, and here we are just doing our thing. So I mean, it's just it's craziness. I don't know why, but it craziness. The time, I think they say what time flies, whether you're having fun or not. Right.
Oh yeah. And the
So
older you get, the faster it goes.
the older you get, the faster it goes.
I
So
know. It's like,
enjoy.
I'm getting, it seems like we're getting to the end of the toilet roll. That's all I got to say.
I've got a few spares if you want me to send you some.
Maybe you might want to do that.
Toilet rolls, great. They have the stuff. Never mind. It's okay.
No.
It's all right. Ms. Vicki, I was just curious because I know you do a lot of work with folks and stuff like that. But
yeah,
and we were talking, like BJ said, I was off on a little rant about the craziness out there and stuff like that. I'm just curious, when you help people, when you help folks figure out what's going on, is it about their life? Is it about their circumstances? I mean, we sure need some help in this world, and I'm glad that people like you are out there, trying to help make it a better place.
Right.
Give us, now that we got a professional here on the program with us, give us a few minutes of good advice about how maybe we can, be a little more happy in life with all the junk going. And I use the word junk rather than the SHI word, that's going on in this world. How are we supposed to keep ourselves on a level field here?
Well, it's what I tell people, it's what's the gift in everything, because there is a gift in everything. And I'll take it back personally, is that I came from an abusive background. My father was very abusive. My mom was emotionally unavailable. The only one that I had that really believed in me was my grandmother. So I held on to that hurt and that pain for a long time until I realized it was controlling my life and I had to change it. So by looking deeper into it, what was the gift that I could get from it? What did I learn about from that darkness? How could I put light into it? And I feel that the light that I have for a lot of people, as I've been through so much, I can, empathize with them, and I know exactly what they're feeling. I also know what it is to, again, find the gift in it and ask them to go, how did you become empowered from it? What are you doing now to, help other people? You've got a choice. You can either stay in the dark or make it light, and then use that to empower other people. So that's what I do. I share my story with almost everyone that I work with to say, you can work past the pain and you can work past the darkness to go, why are you in the place that you are right now? How can you use that to move yourself forward, to inspire yourself, to have empathy, to have compassion, to offer forgiveness? Because you got to understand, whatever they went through, they're still living in it. My dad came and went the same way. I did work with him 2 times, and he actually said, and this is why I use this a lot, is he thanked me for helping him see his life from a different perspective. So on my business card, it's change your perspective, change your life. And that's what I got from my dad. So I very much use that to inspire other people to go, you can move past it, you can grow from it, you can inspire other people to be the same way. And I have my moments, I go in, I'm human, so I have my moments. I allow it, and then I work through it, and I move forward.
Right. It would be really nice if more people could think about how to move through things rather than, screaming at BJ at a Publix parking lot somewhere.
Exactly.
Now I will say this too, and I thought that was very important too. And because when I did get in the car and we got the groceries in and everything, and we were leaving, I go, man alive. I said, I thought I was going to get my hiney whooped. I said, this lady, I just said, then you can move forward. And she let go on me. And my wife said, but you don't know what she was going through today.
Yeah.
So that was an important, thing to think about too. What is she going through today that maybe made her snap? I mean, because she snapped like, boom, man.
Yeah. So I look at you, that you're able to see the bigger picture of it, to have that compassion for her and not hold on to it and actually grow from it, that you can see that other side of it. You can see it from that different perspective.
Yeah, because I know there's days that I'm grouchier than normal. You know, I'm pretty grouchy most days anymore, but I'm grouchier than normal. And it's usually because there's something going on that does that,
Yeah.
that
So
triggers it.
yeah, we all have triggers. We're human. We're going to have our moments. You can allow that to consume your life, or again, you can use that to look at it. How do you want to change? What can you do about it to empower yourself? And again, inspire other people by your words and by your actions.
See, Bill probably had a trigger earlier today and he didn't
Oh,
even know
me?
it.
I don't know about trigger word, but I understand that. I get it. And yet, you know, there's still, when I do have those moments, it's like, oh, they're having a really tough day, but I still want to deck them. You know, but yeah. But fortunately, I am a peaceful person, so I do not do that sort of thing. Although I may say some words under my breath in the car as I pass by or something like that.
Oh, I always do that, especially driving.
Oh, yeah.
My wife will go, you know, you've done the same thing to people. Why are you yelling? I go, because he did it to me. They probably are in their car yelling at me when I do it too. So
Right. So there you go.
Guys,
I get it.
I do this for a living. I can curse better than a sailor. So I'm just being honest.
That's all right. That's all right.
The other thing I like is when I say things to empower somebody and they go, oh, you're being nice. And I said, yeah, I can be nice when I want to. I said, mostly what I am, I'm being honest, which is going to help you. So, yeah.
cool.
That's a big part of it, isn't it? I mean, people, the be honest with yourself thing. That's a big thing. That's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. The other thing you got to be your own best friend. So when you get up in the morning and you're brushing your teeth, you look in the mirror, guess who you're looking at? Your own best friend. So
you know, my old best friend's getting old and he's looking ragged. Let me tell you, right? I'm there brushing my teeth going, oh my God, this guy, what the hell is wrong with him, man? Look at that.
Yeah, but you know what, BJ, you're still standing. You're still upright.
Elton John, I'm Still Standing. One of my favorites. I love that song. You're still upright there, old man. So far.
You're doing good. Hey.
Then I'm on all these blood thinners. All I gotta do is like I think I got a red mark here. All I gotta do is kind of rub my head. Oh, I'm bleeding. I can only imagine if I was a professional wrestler nowadays. Holy birds, could I put on a show, man? I could bleed out right there in the ring at any time.
Great. Oh,
you guys don't change.
Yeah. That's a vision that's staying with me all day. Thanks.
You guys just have too much fun. I'm telling you.
Still do. Still got that at least.
I know.
Still got that.
I love you.
Yeah, my son gave us this opportunity to do a podcast, and he goes, how are you doing? Is it still fun? I go, yeah, we're still having a good time. He says, that's the main thing. As long as you both are still having fun.
Absolutely.
And we are. We have a good time. I don't think there's ever. Our problem was when we first started this, we said, oh my God, we're supposed to cover an hour, like once a week. What are we going to talk about? And we've yet to go, I think, less than an hour going, okay, right. So we went over a few minutes.
Right. It never comes to 40 minutes and go, all right, we're out of stuff to talk about. Nope. There's always something else to complain about, joke about, do something about. So that's fine. Yeah.
Well, awesome. I think you two, you're real, you're authentic, you're funny, you're sincere. You're just great guys. You're great people.
You go.
I'm so glad you sent her the check before the interview.
The check is in the mail. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Actually, nowadays it's like Venmo or Cash App or something like that. Yeah.
For my Venmo.
Venmo account. Yeah, we already know your Venmo account. Yes, we do. It's all right. It's okay. Speaking of which, see, there's a little transition there. I mean, you are open to taking new clients and customers and stuff, and you do talk to people via Zoom calls and all of that. So it's not like they have to come to Blue Ridge, Georgia to sit in your office or whatever.
Well, I wish that they could, but as you remember, it burned down.
So let's put her on the spot, shall we? Yes, our friend Miss Vicki had an office in a gift shop, one of the really nice gift shops in Blue Ridge, downtown Blue Ridge, Georgia, nice little touristy place. And what, about a month ago? More than a month ago now.
No, almost going on 3 months.
3 months. Time
Yeah,
flies,
going-
whether you're having fun or not.
Yeah,
Had a fire in the restaurant next door, burned the building to the ground.
all of them, all 10.
All 10 little shops and stores and restaurants burned to the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put you on the spot.
Oh, here it
You
goes.
had an office that you enjoyed.
Yes.
What's the gift in that?
The gift in it is that, thank goodness, we had 2 angels that were running up and down the plaza telling people to get out because we had no idea the building was on fire. I was just starting a reading when I heard this guy screaming, and I opened up the door to have the guy go, "Get out." And I'm going, "Get out, why?" He goes, "Because the building's on fire."
Wow.
So the gift is that these 2 men, I don't know who they are, they kind of disappeared. I call them the angels, and that's the gift, is that I'm always looked after, I'm always protected, I still alive, because it literally was in the roof just above us. As we ran out and turned around, the whole thing was engulfed within 3 minutes.
Wow.
So my gift is I'm alive,
And that's a good one.
and that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
It gave me a deeper understanding and appreciation for what my son did for many years as a firefighter.
Right.
They go in as everybody else is running out. And that's another gift, that my son has been in many fires. He's since retired, but his compassion and his passion for doing that just escalated in my mind of what an amazing young man he is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
There
Yeah.
you go.
So,
And he gave you some
There is-
grandbabies too.
Yeah.
and my babies. Yeah.
Who are teenagers now.
I know 2 of them are teenagers. That makes me older. And then my third one is 6. So she'll be coming up, but she acts like 31.
Okay.
What, she sells bags?
What?
She what?
She sells bags?
What is that?
No.
She, she gets it. You get it, don't you?
I don't, but then I don't have
There's
grandchildren.
a company, 31, they're bags. They're bags.
31. Oh, is it
Oh,
close?
she didn't get it. I thought she got it.
I
My,
didn't.
my wife's got more 31 bags. She's got more than 31 bags. I'll just tell you that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Boy.
I forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder. I'll go check them out.
And I never knew it. So it's a win-win all around on the show today. Boy, how about that? So
Right there, the gift of the story brought your attention to 31 bags.
That wasn't a good story.
it was an expensive story for BJ.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think the point, though, to kind of, as they say in politics, to circle back on that, the point always is about it is your attitude about everything. I mean, even Captain Jack Sparrow said that, I think, in the first Pirates of the Caribbean thing. The problem is not the problem. The problem is the way you think about the problem.
Yeah, your perception of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So-
and you can and as many of the books that we have read on personal development and spirituality and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, I have read a bunch of them, BJ. I'm not sorry to say.
They
It's
don't
all-
make picture books, or I would be right there with you.
I'll find, if I ever find a picture book on personal development, I will send it to you ASAP, I promise. But you always get to decide. You always get to decide what you are going to think about something.
Right.
So
What do you,
that's always been my lesson. How do I want to think about this? Somebody cut me off. Like you said, BJ, like you said before, your wife even reminded you, somebody cut me off in traffic. Well, maybe they're taking their kid to the hospital or something. Who the hell knows? I don't know what they're doing or thinking or whatever. So I get to decide that I can choose to be mad at them, or I can say, well, they're having a bad day, or they're having something going on, or whatever. So
Right.
anyway,
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents for the day.
yeah. And so that going back to, that's the gift in everything, is finding what is the gift, how can you become empowered from it? And thankfully I'm alive. So I'm very grateful for that. It took me a little bit to look at it from that perspective, because it's been difficult knowing that I was there, excuse me, for 18 years, and all of a sudden in seconds it's gone. So, I'm human. I had a difficult time. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of, well, I'm here, I'm alive, I've got other options. So
Right.
we're focusing on that. Like you said, it's what do you focus on?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Boy.
I can see the wheels spinning there, BJ. What are you thinking?
Well, the wheels are trying to catch up to the wheels.
need more coffee.
Need more
No,
coffee.
no, I'm drinking pina colada this morning.
Oh, he's got some.
Oh,
Yeah, no, he's got some new electrolyte something going on here that he should actually be selling it on this podcast because he's only been talking about it for a month now.
Well, if you'd like to go to the website,
Right.
liquidiv.com,
Right.
and punch in the promo code OUTCAST, you'll get 20% off your next order.
Oh, but you don't make anything for that. That's another one of our podcasts. That's another one of our fellow podcasting friends out there.
And my son's podcast with a bunch of outcasts.
Outcasts,
That's why they kind of
yes.
call themselves the Outcast Podcast. They're a bunch of outcasts.
Okay.
They've been out. We're kind of outcasts. We've been outcasted from the radio business.
That's
Yeah.
it.
All of them have.
That's it. There you go. They should have us on their show and we should be on their show.
Yeah.
yes. Great idea. I like
Idea
that.
guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but then they got it. But then people like, we see us, but they're on YouTube and all the other.
Oh,
So
they do it on
Oh yeah, they make a whole production out of it. They have a producer that
Oh my gosh.
slides and way too complicated for two old guys like us. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think you guys are doing very well with what you
That's it. We are doing well with what we have. Do
Yes.
do what you can. Who
With
said
what you
that?
got.
Wasn't
you have
that Teddy Roosevelt? Do what you can with what you got where you're at.
Yep.
So, yeah. I don't know. All right. Miss Vicki, if people wanted to get in touch with you for maybe doing one of your little services, your readings or whatever, how would we find you?
You can call me or text me at 239
Yes.
248 0586, or you can email me at Vicki Wagoner, VICKIWAGONER 53 at gmail.com.
I will put all that in the show notes so that if people didn't catch all that, they can look up the show notes for the program and they can find your contact info to find
And
stuff for you there.
And on Facebook, Vicki Wagoner, the Practical Intuitive.
That's probably the easiest right there. We always tell folks that BJ and Bill podcast on Facebook. Just do a search for it and you'll find us. That's easy enough. So there you go.
Absolutely.
All righty. Mr. Odom, any last minute ideas here? I'll give our guest a last shot as well if she wants to add something. But you got anything you want to add for this?
No, I think I'm getting intuitized. What was that? What's the word again?
Intuitive.
Yeah, I'm getting intuitives.
All right, he's getting intuitive. All right,
Or
Mr. Psychic.
Or intuitiveness. How about that?
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Pretty sure that's just intuition, but that would be an old journalism major talking, and I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I could be wrong.
Oh, you do fine.
I know. Thank you. Thank
You do great.
Miss Vicki, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, and we will of course have to have you back again, and as things progress, because we're always interested in talking to our old friends.
Thank you.
Maybe
Maybe
I should
next time, like
maybe I should
BJ
have her-
said, maybe next time we have her bring her cards with her and do a reading for BJ or something like that.
Yes, I can do that. Absolutely.
Or have her on speed dial whenever you have one of your little rants going on.
Oh, me? Oh, it's all about me now. Okay, fine. No worries. I accept. And Miss Vicki knows that I have called her with a rant now and then. So
You don't rant that often.
no, not really. Pretty level-headed about that whole thing.
But I'm always open to you guys. You guys need anything, you just call me, text me. I just love you both. And it's been such a pleasure to do this and to see you both, and look forward to doing it again.
Same here.
Awesomeness.
Awesome, as Mr. BJ said. All right, everybody, you go out and have a great week. We will be back again. I think BJ has another guest in the works for next week, don't you?
It's the second most famous friend of mine.
The second most famous.
Wow.
I don't
He's
wanna
not,
know who
he's
the
not the
first
most
is.
famous person I know,
Okay,
but he's the second famous.
second most famous.
Shaq
person.
is first.
Who?
Has to be first. Shaq has to be first.
Oh,
Shaq
that.
has to be first.
And this guy's the second most famous person scheduled to appear next week from Family Ties with Michael J. Fox, Mark Price, known as Skippy.
Oh my gosh, that's
Ah,
awesome.
See? Vicky
See?
knows who it is too. I'm
Yes.
gonna have to do a little homework on that and check up on it. But anyway, all of that coming to you next week, live and direct on BJ and Bill podcast. Stand by for that. But until then, it's just up to BJ to say,
See ya!